podcaster. My name is Vafli Kamara. I have in studio right now Pastor Alfred Bien. Pastor Alfred Bien is the pastor of the Church of Christ in GSA Road community. He's also the coordinator for the Living Water Project. They're doing a lot of work in the water sector. He will be here to talk about what he's doing and also provide expert opinion on sanitation in general. You know, sanitation is part of the arrest agenda of President Joseph Yoma Boakai. And the only way I think we can have the arrest agenda fully implemented and considerate of expert opinions is to bring these people who are already in the sectors in their private lives doing something extraordinary to come on and hear from them what needs to be done so that that can be inculcated into whatever policy that the policy makers are trying to carve and get in motion. So this is what we've brought in here. But Pastor Alfred Bien is also a family to the Liberia Broadcasting System, done extremely well with donating various items, what is for the newsroom, is for the technical or whatsoever. He's been very good. But Pastor Bien, it's a pleasure to be speaking with you. Good morning.
Good morning, Vapele. It's a pleasure being in your studio this morning.
Thank you. How are you? How's the church?
The church is doing well. We are just being busy ups and down, doing work, for the Liberian people and also for God. So it has not been easy. But we thank God, that you continue to carry us through.
No, I know. And sometimes I tend to wonder how you navigate through the project, the water project, and also pay full attention to the church. You have this pastoral duty. You have to perform in all that. How do you navigate it?
It's always good to have replica of yourself and to create, leaders, that will, see your vision, work along with you. So I have other leaders that are working with me, both in the church, the school. The other day when I was here, I said, I established more than 7 Christian schools, 6 of 8 in the rural areas, not just a water project. So I have hosts of, ministers, pastors and other workers are, working along with me. So this make my work easier.
Oh, great. Thank God. But let's pay attention to the work you do from the Living Water Project angle. When was it established?
Living Water Project was established in 2017 when I had an opportunity to travel to the States, and I visited one of our congregations, and a very large congregation, and I saw that was one of the projects that was on them, that they were implementing across Africa, Asia, and other countries. And someone, recommended me that, look, Africa is doing a lot of work in Liberia, so we need to really, partnership with him so that he can help his people. And in 2017, when I came, they were able to help me with the first funding. That is to construct 2 hand pumps. To trust is not easy.
Yeah.
So we were able to do that when we implemented that, and that was just the beginning. And they saw the need. They came, carried them, to those various, places, the 2 areas where we had the 2 hand pumps. And when they got by, they saw
where exactly? 2 hand pumps. That was just a pilot, right?
That was just a pilot project that that they came to see whether we were, the Liberian people really need water, and whether actually, we are faithful, that when they send, people. Now them sometimes when they send money, other people will not do the project. They will send, go and take pictures, and so to trust us is not easy. But over the years we have proven ourselves to be trustworthy, and this is what actually Living Water Project, is continuing, to be.
So the first 2 were constructed. You say where?
One was at the school,
at the school, GSA Road.
GSA Road.
Okay.
And one was, all the way, my Gibi, there's a village they call Barokoma.
So
we
let me start with the place in Magibi. Why was that place selected? Given the very far distance.
Right, because we have been working in our village, as I told you that I have established 7 Christian schools. Helping those village people. So that is another area where we carry school, helping those kids, and they never have water. Because they had running water, that the children was either drinking. So we saw that actually that was the first area plus GSA road that we could start the power project. And that is why we carry all the way inside our village. We gave, the first hand pump.
Okay. So since then, how has it been?
Yeah, since then, it has not been easy, as I told you, since 2017. Every dry season, we always, try to, construct sometimes, 20 hand pumps or whatsoever, and since 2017, we have been able to dig around more than 150 hand pumps, construct more than 150 hand pumps across Liberia. Recently, I was in studio, right here, and it was Stewart who did that interview, and they gave my number. I tell you, that number that they gave to the public has not been easy.
So what does that say about about water?
This is just telling us that water business is really a challenge to our country. More especially, rural areas. Probably that most of the time, even in Monrovia, we are suffering from water business, right?
I can be thinking, why in Monrovia?
And here we have water and sewer, but yet in many communities, even in my community, many times I don't receive, hand pump. There's something from water and sewer, pipe on water. So we have, to use, something from the hand pump, that have been constructed on many occasions. So this is what happening in many communities around, Monrovia. And if Monrovia will suffer for water business, then tell me about those rural areas, what they are going through. Like recently I was in, this place, on the highway where Banana Europe, Carisbrand. I constructed 2 wells in Carisbrand all the way inside, and I tell you, while we're doing that, another request coming for another time, and this is what happens, and while we're even there, somebody got in touch with me on the old road. As I said, right now, as I speak, I have more than 100 communities, that have gotten in touch with me. They need, safe drinking water. It's not easy. Water business is a challenge. We have, water and sanitation WAS program, but the government need to really step up and do more on the WAS, issues, in Liberia.
With that said, Pastor Bien, let's look at the significance of water provision. I mean, when it is, since it is important, then why are we not, up there?
Prioritize. I will use the word prioritize because we have water and sanitation. We have a WAS, program under the government, right? Water and sanitation or whatsoever. But I'm sure that they are trying to do their best. But all what they are trying to say is that they need to step up, to do more. Government need to step up to do more. Because even we in the private sector, I would say private sector, because churches are also supporting what we are doing. Actually, governments will be all over to provide, safe drinking water and other, basis, things that they need to provide, for their citizens, right? For our citizens. But what I see is that the challenge is huge. The challenge is huge. So government need to really prioritize, this area.
Is the challenge also from the fact that many of you in the private sector, like the Living Water Project, you people are not many enough to close the gap, to bridge the gap?
You see, why it's happening is that when we have the coronavirus, we have other, situations in Liberia. There were many NGOs that were really in this water area, like Concern, like other people, but I'm sure that they have, and turn their project to different something now. So we that really on, doing this, water business, we are not really, I think we are not really plenty. And I think this is what is really causing the problem.
Wow.
Yeah. And I tell you,
and the population is growing.
Right. Vapile, I tell you, many places. I travel all over Liberia. I travel in villages. I have traveled somewhere that places that I would not even expect it because of their water project. I have traveled in villages. I have traveled in towns. I have traveled many places. And sometimes when you see the water that the people are drinking, it will marvel you. You will think that it is not human being that drinking these waters. They kind of water that the people are drinking. It may get inside. Yes, and sometimes like the other area, to this area that I'll tell you about, recently.
In
Margibi. When I saw the running water that they were drinking, it had caught like this, one side to another side.
It's not
running.
It
was no longer running.
It's just still.
Yeah, and you see the water red. And I asked the Pope, are you sure that this? He said, well, Pastor, this is the water that we are drinking. From the time of the establishment of this, particular area, we have now had the opportunity to get, safe drinking water. And this is the first time. I mean, you could see the jubilation. You could see the happiness, right on the faces of the people, because for the first time they had received safe drinking water.
So Pastor Bien, part of what, I extended you the invitation to come here is to find solution to the problem.
Yeah.
You don't know, we can overstate the problem.
Mm-hmm.
What can we do to bridge, to close the gap, to make water provision, that the rate of water provision high? What can we do?
I think one of the things, Pablo, is that we have the Water and Sanitation Division, on the arms of the government. And some of us, we don't really like, because they're too much bureaucracy. They will know that you are doing the work, but sometimes they will not really contact you, to say this is why, because sometimes you are not part of them, right? But I think, and I think it's, budgetary, allotted, government is also trying to do something, to the water and sanitation issue. They should be able to reach out, listen to those, organizations that are really doing well, trying to help the Liberian people. Because after all, what we are doing, we are supporting, the effort of the government, because all those places government are not being, but as a church, as people, we are going to those places helping our people. So I think it is time that it should be able to buttress, all organizations that are really trying to, to help, the Liberian people.
Yeah. Okay, collaborate with you
already
in the sector. Especially when you take in the gospel. Along with water. So you carry
we are transforming lives. Because as we carry the water, we also transforming life, telling the people, that they need to change, to become better citizens. So there are a lot that we are doing. The church is also doing a lot, in this country. Well, I tell you, yes, we are doing all those things. Well, sometimes we are not really recognized, by our government, or because, we are not, part and parcel of the government or whatsoever. But
I don't think assistance should be based on political affiliation.
Exactly. But some of all we are not, affiliating, with political parties. We are church, and we are just there doing the work that God wants us to do. We are just there trying to buttress the effort of the government, trying to help our people. Just imagine, places that we have been. And many times, like I just told you, the kind of water that the people are drinking. Like I told you about this particular village where we went, where you have the water cutting to places, the water is red, manganese, and all those kind of things. So it will bring waterborne diseases, right? Cholera, diarrhea, and all those kind of things, will break out in those places. And when that happens, Liberian people are dying. But we are also, as I said, we are also happy, in our own little way, in our own little corner, trying to, do what God wants for us to do.
Pastor Bien, the good thing is we speak at a time you have a new government, and the government is still in its embryo stage, is still forming. You can take advantage of that. Where if the government, if President Joseph Boakai calls you right now and say, okay, Pastor Bien, let's sit around the table. Tell me where the needs are. How can we tackle this? What would be that advice? Where do you need the support most?
First of all, as you already stated, and thank God that arrest, sanitation is, water and sanitation is part of the arrest program that, President Boakai, has on his agenda. And we just pray that, the president will be able to, to open his eyes, and look at, all the people that are in the sectors are trying to, to help also buttress the effort of the government so that the arrest program can be a vibrant one, right? Yes, you need to, to look around those that are responsible so that you will be able to bring people that have the expertise also that are doing the work, so that they will be able to give their piece of advice, on how to alleviate the water, situation. As I said, yes, the arrest program, this government is just starting, and we are happy that the old man has also put that as part of the agenda. But you need to also open, his arm, to other people that are also making efforts so that we will make, the arrest program to be a vibrant one.
So, Living Water Project, for example, if you need a support from the government is willing to give you the assistance, as I said. where do you need it the most? It's a call across with most of you in the water sector. I mean, private organizations into the water sector. Where do you find it difficult? Is it the road to the communities? Is it the equipment? Is it, where to dig? Because you have to look for all these areas.
Exactly, and one of the unfortunate thing is that many of our roads are not pliable, right? Most of the roads, what we do, we take motorbikes sometimes, to go deep into those villages to be able to give water, because roads are many of those rural areas are not really good enough, so now even if you have Land Cruiser Jeep, it would be difficult because the roads are not good. Some of the places we use motorbike to go. So just what you are saying, yes, the road construction is also important. Road those places are also important, but more importantly is that if we are supported buttress financially, we're not be thinking about the same thing that we are doing. Where car can now go, we can say go with with motorbike and other things, to be able to give our people safe drinking water. I think we just need a part on our bike, what we are doing, because we are receiving little funding from our donors, right?
Yep.
And the amount of requests I will receive is overwhelming. It's more that we cannot be able to. Even as we are speaking now, if you open the line, you will see that a lot of it will not be easy. Since the last time I left from here, as I said, I have received more than 100 calls, 100 communities, 100 villages, towns.
And will not give your number out.
Yeah, exactly. Today I don't even want for you to, because it means the problem will just be increasing.
Yeah.
So you see, this is a problem. So, and unfortunately for us, when we left from studio, we had just been able to construct 10 hand pumps. Right now we are finished with 5. And
where?
As I said, we have some, we went to one all the way in Margibi, and we're doing some in Lofa, all over.
But how do you select the community?
People get to us, but when we send assessment team, we see there are a lot of needs all over. But we send our assessment team, and those communities that need that need most, because there are some that, like for example, you see the water that people are drinking, right? There are other people that also there's a need, but sometimes they can get some water from other places, that is not really vulnerable. But there are some, you see the water that they are drinking. So we look at all those factors into consideration. We say, okay, for now, I think we can, among all the 100 needs or 150 communities, I think we can start with this, gradually. And this is what we are doing.
And what I have personally investigated, and you can dispute that, what I have personally investigated is that it is not that some of these communities don't have hand pumps. It is because of the population that makes the hand pumps inadequate.
Right. You are right, because for example, a community has 3,000 inhabitants, right? 3,000 people, and then you just have one hand pump. Just imagine the pressure.
It makes it look like hand pump.
No hand pump. Just imagine the pressure. Like a lady told me, before I came to the studio, when you made an announcement I was coming, and somebody that I know called me and say, my home, that whole area there are more than 4,000 people, but we don't get one hand pump. I said, right. He said that, and she told me, he said that, I beg you, I really need, a hand pump in that area, because it like everybody's grouping, to that one hand pump. Before you load the hand pump, with spore. It will not really last long, because the pressure that on that one hand pump is not, the populations are increasing, the population going up.
But
so, and this is also will be a challenge.
Is this something for you? I mean, you people, whether it's Living Water International, is Living Water Project, is everybody in the water, in the construction of hand pumps in communities. Is this something that you people form a database, come together, form a strategy in that, and make a projection and make the statistics? Okay, how many the population that needs this X amount of hand pumps that will adequately cater to that community. For example, this community, AB Toba Road, has 10,000 residents. How many hand pumps that will serve adequately, so that there will be no semblance of water shortage?
Actually, that has not been done. I'm very sure of what you are saying. Like for example, Living Water International is working in Nimba, right? Most of their projects is concentrated in Nimba. But all over Liberia, everybody facing water problem. I tell you. And this is why for me, I'm not really, concentrated in one community. we go somewhere when we see the need. And I think there should be a database, created by, the Water and Sanitation Division of the government,
Yeah.
that we all will look at. We say, okay, this area, there's a need,
Yeah.
that
Okay,
we can
7,000.
concentrate.
Okay, 6 or 5 hand pumps will cater to 7,000
people in a particular area.
community.
Then you know where to concentrate, probably, but mind you, even if that is done, other people will say be getting, to you as well. Other community will say be calling because they too they need, water. So if okay, let's concentrate in a particular region. But what's about the other region? But it's equally everybody are facing water problem. Yeah.
So
it is huge. Probably the thing overwhelm us. It's not easy. Sometimes even at night, people call us. This particular community. Like I was in Ghana recently. As soon as I came, even right behind here, up the hill, LBS.
Yeah.
They have been calling me for more than 3 weeks. We beg you come and do an assessment. Baptist Seminary. The last time I gave them 1 hand pump, and the community said that because that was around the compound, they are suffering from. So it's just the needs are just so.
How do you when you construct a hand pump in the community, for example, that the hand pump is needed most, given the needs? How do you regulate the ownership? How do you regulate the sustainability?
Right.
And
what we
caretaking and all that?
Yeah, what we do, because when we go to a particular area, for example, somebody call us, right? That person become the contact person. And we have meetings, with the people, with the community, that we are giving you the hand pump, but after the construction of the hand pump, when we dedicate the hand pump, it belongs to the community. After all, it's not an individual, project. We all will work, for communities, Okay, so when that is done, we have meetings, with them, how to regulate the hand pump, when to open, when to close. Then probably asking them that, they need to maybe collect 1 or 2, cents that when, the hand pump have problem, they will not come back to us, and that have been one of the problems, because NGOs have gone, constructed a lot of hand pump, and today they are no more, because sometimes when after the construction of the hand pump, communities are not able to, to take care of it. And before you know, the effort will just go in room. So we have to educate them that you have been drinking the water from this stream or whatsoever, and if you will not take care of this water the best way possible, it means that you will go back to the place where you were drinking this water. So we educate them, put them together, and regulate the hand pump, when to open, when to close, and a committee that will be able to take care of the hand pump. And with that, I think it is really happy.
Pastor, being sanitation includes so many things.
Yeah.
But on the sanitation of the arrest agenda, where do you want government place more focus?
Probably is not easy. For me, sometimes I become
because you have public toilet, for example.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But let's look at the diet issue. On sanitation, let's look at the diet. You will agree with me, probably, that every community, every corner that you go, that issue is not being regulated. I don't know, but as you leave from here, you go to another community, even the RRA route, where we have, some foreign dignitaries coming and whatsoever, you will see people will just take the diet, put it right on, the side of the road. And that also speaks volume of this country. Because when the people come to see, they say, oh, but these people, this country is dirty, right? So, I don't know, this AREPRA and this sanitation, most probably when it comes to the dirty, we are not really doing well. Seriously, the government is not really doing well when it comes to, trying to, put, mechanism in place, for this dirt issue. And you can pump all the money, right, in the health sector, and you can bring the best doctors, right? Like, look at the Dupo Road Junction, when I was just coming. When a dead, become planted, the Pope, fire, in that particular
in the middle of the road.
Yeah, and you will see the smoke all over. Tell me now, are you not creating health hazard? At the end of the day, all these things, create health problem. The more we continue to go to hospital, you will come back and you will say you're sick. Yeah, so this is a serious issue. Like for example, in time past, we have something called Zoom Lion, right? Zoom Lion was an organization or something that they hired from Ghana, and they were here at that time. I think they were doing early time, and they were very trying. And later on, I think they went. Zoom Lion is in Ghana with all of government partnership with all private entities, right? And they are really working hard to make sure that deaths and other things, I mean, every day they have workers that will be able to take the dead where specific place, where the citizens will go and put the dead, and the people every day they will be able to take the dead from those places. But one thing that I'm not really seeing
so
here,
government should empower
private institutions
that have the capacity,
right? Because some of them will come and they will not do the work.
They bring one or two.
You should do vetting. There should be a vetting process, right? Those private entities that you think that they are viable, that they that they can do the job. Let government be able to allocate funding. Let our legislature be able to to allocate funding.
Because like the mayor of Pinsville said, certain corporations they are not sanitation companies.
And they are incapacitated, right? and that is another plan. They are not. So go to red light. I mean, you see the huge pile of that, and people are sitting there, rest are eating. So are you telling me that we are really trying to fight the health situation? It really pathetic, Vafle, because if we cannot try to work on this, I mean, there die issues in this country, and I'm happy that President Parker has made that as an agenda on this arrest issue. Yes, water is also important, but the die issue is really killing the Liberian people.
So how do you know that this particular place is good to dig a well or pump?
Yeah, we have experts that were trained in water area. Most of them, like those that work with me, most of them work with Concern, most of them work with NGOs. They do assessment. When you go to a particular area, sometimes the community will tell them, okay, this is what we want, for the hand pump to be. But they will be able to advise the community about this place is up the hill. In fact, this place, if you dig the pump, you will not be able to dig well, you will not be able to get water. So they will advise the community to look for a suitable place where they will be able to dig. And this is why, because they have the expertise, they have been working in this area for long. Yeah.
Okay, you listening to the Super Morning Show this morning. My guest is Pastor Alfred Bien. He is the pastor of the GSA Road Church of Christ, also the coordinator of the Living Water Project. We are talking sanitation. The last time I talked to our correspondents from Cape Mount, I think Cape Mount and Bomi, it will interest you to know that Todmanburg is facing serious water shortage.
Really?
Todmanburg, yeah, the city itself, this 21st century. So what needs to? Do we have a water regime, like a policy set aside on how to go about implementing?
I think, as I said, we have this water and sanitation division on the arms of the government.
Yeah, the WASH Commission.
The WASH Commission, they are there, and I mean, and government is funding them. Government giving them huge amount of money. So I mean, the president need to open his eyes and see that these people are working.
Okay.
Seriously, to see that these people are working. Because like what I see, my brother, even we in the private sector, we are even doing well. Yeah, we are doing well because we are really happy. So it means that if these people were really, making an assessment and going to these places, I think they could be able to, to arrest some of these situations.
So how do you determine the needs of a community?
As I told you, for now, as in studio, before I leave from here, I don't know how some of them can even get my number. I tell you, I don't know how they can get my number, because as you are saying, Church of Christ, GSA Road, some of them will they always sometimes make their way, even if they cannot get my number. Sometimes when I'm sitting, I get 10 visitors. Well, how did you say? Well, and the last time you were in studio, as I was speaking, most of them are also listening. You see, and this is how we get people contacting us. And I don't know what I would say. Unfortunately, last time when I was here and still call my number, my brother, that have been a big trouble for me. Yeah, people call me all over in the night as well. We want for you to come do assessment. Today's our community, today our village, today's our that. So I think that if we really have a lot of entities in this waters area, I don't think the need will really be the way we are looking at it to be. My brother, Vafle is not easy. I tell you, I have been in villages, I have been in towns, I have been in a remote area. I know why I'm talking. Our people are suffering. To get water is not easy. Our people are dying because of waterborne diseases. I tell you, I will tell you for a fact that our people are suffering. We need, collectively, all those are involved in a water business. We need to really stand on our feet, and also urge our government to be proactive, in this area.
Okay, so Carlos, Pastor Alfred Bien is the head of the Living Water Project. You can call us on 0770581886, 0770581886, and be live on the Super Morning Show this morning. Let's hear you. 0770581886 and be live on the program we have on the line. This caller, let's see who this person is. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How's the morning?
I'm fine. What's the name?
I'm Pastor Leron McGill.
Yeah, let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, first I want to commend the pastor for coming up in studio and trying to explain all of these factors. Yes, it is true that the Liberian people are suffering when they come to this aspect, sanitation as a whole in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to be specific on its priority, because you asked him the question, which of the area do you think that when the president should call you, what are those areas that you can identify for support? So he should be very much specific to that, because it's very cardinal.
Okay.
And this is my own point of contention.
Thank you very much, sir. Call us on 0770581886, 0770581886. Better still, 800514-096, 0800514-096, and be live on the program this morning. We're talking water. The water issue is not easy. But let's talk about when you go to these communities to construct a hand pump, for example.
Mhm.
The local labor, do they support the project? Do they help you? Maybe if it is to haul sand or to bring about the rag or the self-help. But let's talk to this caller first. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yeah, Lee from the radio.
Yeah, I just want to
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and really, I want to thank God for Pakistan. You were talking about water issues, and we made a request to him, and he was able to give us a pump. So even right now, we have a pump in our community now.
Oh, okay.
So I just want to tell about.
Oh, okay, thank you. So your community, no water problem.
The water, there's fire. It was turn.
Oh, your line is kind of terrible. Let's hold you there. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
I'm Emmanuel Kuba calling from Hammerfield Depot.
Yeah, let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to the pastor in studio, and what he discussing right now, and is some of us, area of profession for some time now, but I went out of the high quality the work because of certain reason, and then seeking for support. So I want to ask the whether he's seeing people with the idea, to work along with him. I started working. I was doing the DDR program. I went to school in Bible College there. I have all of my documents in Bible College and in Broadville. And then we're doing all of the work construction. In the RDP camp, most of the high quality context. Yeah. So even when we're concerned, GAA, Jama Agro Action, most of the high quality NGOs. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm here. What I want to do is I still have passion for the work. Yeah. And with the kind of condition is I'm learning, and then knowing that myself have knowledge for ASO, and I actually been yearning, but thinking as to how I can get in touch with people like him.
Okay.
And then Fortunately for me this morning, yeah, how you call it, I'm in touch with him. So I want to know as to whether I can get an opportunity to get contract for him to implement into some of those projects and whatever.
Okay, so you'll start the conversation. You'll tell you how to get him.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, sir. What's your name?
Ezekiel Fire calling from Rossiaway.
Yeah, Ezekiel, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to tell the pastor, thank you for what you are doing. Yeah, that God will bless him. And he might not say when he get his number, all people will get him harder. God can appoint people for so many errors to save people life. You might know that life is saving. He's doing, I want to say that he's doing to put money in his pocket, but he's saving so many people's life. God will bless him and his church and his family. He will continue giving his number. Let people call him. Where he able to do, he will able to do. Where he not able, he tell them, bull, I know, and I get no finance to able to do. So thank you very much. Let God bless him.
Thank you. We can come back to you, Pastor Alfred Bien.
Yeah.
Then later we'll take another round of call. But I just wanted to ask, the support that you get, does the support that you get correspond with the request that you get?
No, as I said, I received a lot of requests that we are not even able to meet, with those requests that every day we receive, because sometimes our donors, we talk to them because of the finance situation. So it's okay, after at this point in time we'll be able to help you construct 10 hand pumps, right? And just imagine if they approve for 10 hand pumps and we have more than 100, just see the gap. So it's not easy, properly. So no, it's not easy. So we just randomly, from our partner. This is why as we receive the support, we go into communities, we implement and we are able to help our people. How often do you get the support? And how do you get mostly we work, during the dry season time. Yeah, like from November up to maybe May. Within that time interval, that's the time that we really work, because during the rain season time, you had a water table will rise. And when you dig, hand pump, during that time, or you construct well, when the dry season really comes, the water will get dry, so it's not advisable. Yeah. So
you dig in the dry season,
because if you do that in the rain season, it becomes difficult. Yeah. So when the water table rise and during the dry season the water drop, then the people will tell you that, okay, we don't have water in our well because the timing was not really right. So this is why we always do that,
so how long does it take you respond to some of the callers? How long does it take you to complete a construction of a hand pump, for example?
Just 2 weeks. Yeah, when we receive like for example, as I told you, when the last time I left studio, we were able to maybe help 10 communities, right? But we have already finished with 5. We dedicated that. Recently I was in Ghana, I just returned, and the other 5 hand pumps are almost completed. So by next week I will be dedicating those those 5 hand pumps.
Somebody wants to get in touch with you, how they can be of help?
The other guy said that I should not be afraid. Yeah, I'm not afraid to give my number, but it's just like, sometimes, with all those calls and you are not able to meet, disappointing people, that is another problem. And sometimes I can just, okay, I beg you, we'll see what we can do as God continue to provide the funding. With the brother that said that he has a passion, I think he can meet me at the church, GSA Road Church of Christ, on GSA Road, where they have the Morning Star School. I'm always there. You come there, you will meet me and we can discuss.
Okay, so we can take another round of calls. 770-581886, 0770-581886, and be live. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Mother Nya from Bender City.
Yeah, let's hear you, ma'am.
Yeah, we are solving for water business. We had a hand pump, but whenever dry season comes, the hand pump dry. So we are drawing from creek water. It's very dirty, and people are getting sick from it.
Who part of Bento?
Children community.
In Bento City, sir?
Yeah, Children community.
So that hand pump was the only hand pump, and now it's poor?
The only hand pump we have. Whenever dry season comes, it's dry.
Oh, it's not poor, but the water dry right now.
Yes, no water. So we want for Mr.
The
Yeah,
pastor.
to kind of help her and to recondition it and to redig.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll see if we can get you in touch with him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have your number here.
Even it can be the government can carry. We are plenty. We don't have water to drink.
So where you're getting water from now?
From the creek.
You say from the creek.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
The creek running or just are still?
Like the water sitting on like a pool. We go there, we draw water. Yeah, it's not even purified. Sometimes water turn green.
So how long y'all been drinking from that creek since the pump?
Since the dry season, since January.
Wow. So it's like it's always the case when the dry season comes, then you go back to the creek. When the rainy season comes, then you go back to the pump.
Yes.
Terrible. All right. We'll link you up with Pastor Bien, yeah?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Hello. Yeah, how you coming on, sir?
I'm fine. What's your name?
Okay, I'm Moses Sagi calling for FDA community.
Yeah.
Interesting of the topic here. We had a hand point there, but the hand point is too little for the member of the community that there. Because the hand pump, we don't have much hand pump, and some of them can go all the way down the hole to go get water from there.
Okay. Okay, he will respond to that.
We asking the pastor to please help us. I'm a normal there. When you ready for when you want also to ready something there, you can call me on that number. There, I can call my community leader. Then we can find.
Okay. Thank you. But the lady from Bentor, children community, that is a seasonal situation.
I think I just told you, the timing. The time that probably they dug that hand pump, it was the time that probably the water table was high, and this is why they are suffering, when the dry season comes, that is the reason they are suffering. Because the timing was wrong. Because if you dig hand pump when the water table is high and the dry season happen to come, the water table will drop. And at the end of the day, they will not receive water in a well. Yeah.
So how can we find a solution to that?
Well, I mean, I just have to, they have to get to me, to do an assessment, my workers to do an assessment to see if we can be able to help in the situation.
Okay.
Because for them, they already have the hand pump, right?
Yeah.
And I think, what we need to do is to just help, to see how we can deep that, little way, down, to be able to get, then water. Because you see what I was telling you, whenever they don't have water, what happens? They go back to the creek. They go back, to, the area, small area that they dig, something. And sometimes it can't really be peaceable.
Wow.
Yeah. And they are facing this problem all over.
How yeah.
Properly is not easy. I could not tell you that the pressure that on, some of us that are trying to help in this water area is not really easy. I tell you, our people are suffering. The water, is really giving problem. Water situation is really giving problem all over Liberia.
How long will it take to see the adequacy of hand pumps across the country to communities most needed? And the thing is, even communities where you have water and sewer connection line, still because
the same water, like as I told you, in my community, I live on Police Academy, right? We have water and sewer, but sometimes 1 week, 2 weeks, we cannot receive. So where you want all to go get water from the same hand pump? And in my community where I live, we have more than 4,000. We have one, hand pump. I think 1 or 2 hand pump in our area.
4,000 residents.
Yeah, and I myself struggle to get water in our area because it's not easy.
But you give you water.
Yeah, I give you water, but I think we have 2 that we can manage. Yeah.
I know. I mean, everything is challenged. Everywhere is challenged.
Because even like roughly what you are saying, yes, I'm dealing with living water, but at least for me, my children can go to get water, somewhere, right? But about other people that cannot get that, they do not have, that. So sometimes I have to prioritize other people more than, because at least I got somewhere that I can get something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can understand that. Okay, Pastor Bien, we are running out of time. You want to? I send you the lady from Benton. No, I think her situation is concerning.
We will look at it
because this is it's in a cycle, right? Rainy season, you get water. Dry season, like LEC. You know, the stability of the current is during the rainy season.
Exactly.
The stability of the current is in the dry season. So we should find solution to these kinds of problems. And I think, you know, it's time for us to think and find solution. The problems, they are not new. The problems, they are not new. I continue to tell people in government and people who are supposed to be making things to happen here. The problems are not new. We can't overstate the problem. We should put our minds together and think the solution. To tackle the problem, or else we'll complain for the next 10 years.
The next 10 years or more than that.
Yeah. Because the 10 years ago the people complained. And we should be talking about solutions.
But yet even the problem continue, you know, to even, you know, become worse. The problem is getting worse more than, you know, the 10 years that you think about.
Yeah.
Because as the population grows, you know, it grows with problem, right? So these are the situations.
So Pastor Bien, we out of time. You can just give us your parting comments.
I just want to, you know, appreciate you and all the people who, you know, always try to get us here. You know, so that our people can hear us, you know, our government, you know, hear us, you know, to know the problem that we are going through as a nation, as a community, you know, so that together we can be able to tackle, you know, some of these problems that the nations, you know, going through, more especially when it comes to water and sanitation. And we hope that, you know, other stakeholders are, you know, in the water sectors are, you know, listening to us, you know, that they will be able to, you know, find solution, you know, to the numerous problems that our people are going through, more especially when it comes to safe drinking water. So I pray that our president, you know, will become proactive in this arrest, you know, more especially water and sanitation area, you know, try to partnership with, you know, other, you know, private, you know, people that are also in the water and sanitation area, that will be able to support the agenda of the government. So thank you very much. And I'm happy that, as I said, in my own little way, that we are able to touch the life of our people, you know, contribute the little way that we are able to contribute to help our people, you know, in this, you know, areas of water. And more especially, I always tell people, whenever I give water, I'm certified, because I know that I have been able to find a solution a little way, you know, to somebody's problem. So I just want to say thank you so much, and I pray that another time I will be here again, that we'll talk more on this water and sanitation issue. Thank you, Pastor, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Pastor Alfred Bien is the pastor of the GSA Road Church of Christ, and also the coordinator of the Living Water Project. My name is Vafle Kamara. John Takagoligio tomorrow for another presentation of the Super Morning Show.